Hey friends, from the idyllic to the very controversial, today I'll tell you what life in Denmark is truly like. I'll buzz through 7 widespread myths and tell you the real truth about life in Denmark. And if you're new here, my name is Mario and I have been living in Copenhagen for over 10 years. I have also lived in 5 other different countries and I have traveled to over 140 different countries as well, so believe me when I say I can give some nuance here. Myth number 1 is that Denmark is expensive. And again, it's no secret that Denmark is often ranked as one of the world's most expensive countries. However, what many people don't see is the value behind the price tag. So in Denmark, prices are high, but so are salaries. And importantly, the wide stretch of salaries are high. So the minimum is high and pretty much everyone working in Denmark can have a relatively comfortable life. The point here is that one can argue that dollar for dollar, krona for krona, Denmark, and you could argue also Scandinavia, are some of the best places for people also in the lower to medium income range to live. Again, it's expensive, but you are really well off. In Denmark, you'll also pay very high taxes, but you will get it back on child benefits, healthcare, support for different vulnerable groups, and as well the peace of mind that comes of living in a safe and organized country. Myth number 2 is that Danes are cold and unfriendly. And again, it's a common stereotype to say that Danes are distant or unfriendly to strangers. And again, there's some truth to that. So I had to make a full video about how to make friends in Denmark. There's going to be a link somewhere here. Again, I had to make a full video about this, right? So it's not something that I can summarize in a few bullets. Just know that it's, again, harder to make friends in Denmark than it's in some other countries. However, once you become friends with Danish, once you broke the ice, there's a strong sense of community and trust. And once you're considered a friend, you're in for a warm and loyal relationship with the Danish. And here I also want to expand on the concept of hygge, which is something unique to the Danish culture, where you also, especially in winter, you embrace friendships, you spend time together, you have kind of this coziness of the soul. So that's something, again, that you get as part of your friendships in Denmark. Myth number 3 is that the healthcare system in Denmark is the best. And it's one of the most lauded aspects of Danish society, that it has this free healthcare system. Again, it's free to the point of use, it's often marketed as one of the best in the world. But is it flawless? I would say not exactly. So again, while the healthcare system excels in accessibility and preventive care, it also faces challenges, like there's a long waiting times for a lot of things, there's shortage of specialists. And my take here is that it's great to have the peace of mind that this system will cover you up in case of the most catastrophic cases. So you will not be bankrupt in Denmark because of your health costs. And that's priceless, and it's different from a lot of other countries. But on the other hand, in other countries where you have to pay for the privilege of healthcare, or you can actually pay top-ups to that privilege, you'll get faster responses, you'll get priority support and all the attention that you want. Now, there is some private health insurances that you can take in Denmark, and there's going to be a link of a future video about that here. However, just know that when you, for example, have an emergency, you can only go to the public hospitals. Just to give an example of how these things work here, I was once turned away from the hospital for having an injury that was just not bad enough, despite I really wanted help and I was feeling terrible. I was in the same waiting room as other people that were just pissed drunk and old people, and like they were just getting the support from me. And I was like, I know this is hard to go, or it goes against the Danish spirit to say this, but it was annoying for me because I'm the guy who's paying a lot in taxes and I just get turned away by the guy who's actually likely living off benefits. So not only getting no peg in taxes, but also living off the benefits, and that people get priority. That's what you get when you live in a country like this, which you could argue it's good or bad. I mean, there's no like right or wrong answer here. I just want to give this an example to give you a nuance of the complexities that you have in a healthcare system as the one in Denmark, and also tell you that even in a healthcare system in Denmark that gets so much praise, there's still room for improvement for sure. Myth number 4 is that the weather is always bad. And yeah, the weather. Yeah, Denmark has a lot of rain days and winters can be long and dark. But I would argue as well that the spring and the summer really make up for it. In the spring, the sun doesn't set up until late. There's bloom and life everywhere, outdoor concerts, picnics, there's a hygge, parks, beach trips, and it's really nice. My take here, my hot take, is that as much as you can, just take 1 or 2 months off Denmark in winter and just travel somewhere else, especially in November and January. Those are kind of the best months to get out here, and then stay and enjoy the spring to the fullest. Coming from a place like Argentina, as I am, where there's not so much difference between seasons, here the spring and the summer are just so nice and really make up for the bad weather in winter. Myth number 5 is that the Danish food is the best in the world. So again, some people believe that Danish food is the best in the world because we have Noma, this is the #1 best restaurant, and then also the #2 best restaurant in the world is also here in Denmark. We can certainly argue that the high end of Danish cuisine is special and that the food is incredible. Thing is, what about the food for like normal people? And what is the setup so when you go to a local bar, or when you order food home, or just want to grab a quick bite? In my opinion, that specific food is terrible. So I can't stop at any gas station in Spain and get an amazing sandwich, or if I can go to a French bakery like at the side of the street, it's amazing and the food tastes delicious. And of course you can walk to any, like even a 7-Eleven in Japan, and the food is amazing. In Denmark, not so much, again my opinion, but while Denmark is so egalitarian, I would argue that for the food here, like the good food is for the ones who have money and it's a luxury, and for many of the rest, the food is bland and just sometimes complicated. Again, personal opinion, your mileage may vary, but again, just don't come here thinking you're gonna be eating amazing each single day. Myth number 6 is that Denmark is boring. And let me tell you straight, Denmark is not boring, or at least Copenhagen is not. Whether you're into history, arts, outdoor adventures, Copenhagen has something for everyone. Like Denmark is whole also as well, dotted with castles, museums, there's modern art galleries, and there's biking, sailing opportunities, hiking, and even if you like party and nightlife, there's a ton of festivals, and also Copenhagen has a lot of music and club scene, so it's really, really nice, and you will never really be bored in a city like Copenhagen. Myth number 7 is that Denmark is perfect. So Denmark ranks consistently as one of the top countries for happiness, one of the best places to live, has this amazing welfare state, and more. For some people, Denmark is perfect, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as a perfect country. And I have no doubts that Denmark is not the best country for everyone. For example, if you are a very ambitious person and you're a high earner, you'll struggle in a society that in a way punishes overperformance with high taxes and a societal code called the janteloven that basically stresses conformity. And heck, to this point, if you like a good life and want a big house, a fancy car, or a help at home, in Denmark you'll need to be literally rich in order to afford luxuries. That will again cost you dearly. Or if you want to have thriving social and outdoors life and culture and crave mountain hikes every weekend, Denmark is not your place. Point is that Denmark is an amazing place, and I made a video outlining 100 reasons why Denmark is great. You can find that video over here. But of course there's one more gripe about Denmark, is that the investing taxes are terrible, and if you want to hear more about that, you should check this video over here. Thanks for watching.